How do you take that kind of a meaningful outcome and translate that into actionable lessons on Kajabi for your students?
Well, a roadmap to success is important, right? So most of the times when clients come to me, they have a lot of the pieces. They usually have a speech.
So, hi everyone. It's good to be back for a hero highlight. I know it's been a few months here. Today, I'm actually really honored to introduce our Kajabi hero, Evolve Benton. Evolve is a speaker, author, and is the founder of Speaking for Profit. And through Speaking for Profit, Evolve has helped students make over $3 million from public speaking and consultation. So again, please, everyone, welcome Evolve. Evolve, thank you so much for making the time to join us today. Really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for the opportunity. This is super exciting, especially after meeting so many of you all at the Hero Live last year. So thanks for the invite, and shouts out to Joe for nominating me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
So Evolve, I really wanted to kick off today. Your origin story is actually really interesting to me because it's one that we've seen quite a bit, where we see heroes who had a sort of a more traditional corporate role, and you're working as a DEI manager in a corporate environment, and you have since transitioned to start Speaking for Profit. And that's a pretty big shift to go from a full-time job to starting your own business. And I'm really curious, could you help us understand, how did Kajabi help support this transformation for you? And what aspects of the platform have been most impactful in shaping the business that you built?
Definitely. Great question, Paul. Well, yes, 2 years ago, I was working at one of the top medical schools in the country. I was a DEI manager. And to be transparent with everyone here, I was a little bit stressed out. It was a very stressful environment, especially during COVID. So I found myself wanting to make extra money. And when I found Kajabi, it had two things that I really needed. It had a low cost and my business could be in one platform, right? So I could do this during my 9 to 5 at the nighttime. I could also do this on the weekends, and it didn't cost a lot of money. So I wasn't taking money from my wifey, which always tells me as long as it doesn't cost our family money, I can go on and do it. And things that have really helped with the platform is it being an all-in-one platform. So having the availability of email marketing. I remember before I found Kajabi, I was using in Constant Contact. And I believe that was around the same amount that I was spending every month for Kajabi to have a sales page, to have email marketing, to be able to actually have the availability to market to my actual clients and to build various different products. So I primarily have a high ticket coaching program, but in order to really build relationships with prospects, I also needed master classes and challenges and other things that could really nurture my audience. And it was all built in one platform, and I only had to pay one payment a month. So I was like, this is perfect. I'm going with it. And I really appreciate all of the efforts that you've done the last few years, especially since COVID, to make it even better for running your business.
That's really cool to hear. And I think one of the things that I've seen in the Kajabi Hero community a lot of times is we'll see heroes who pop in and say, hey, take a look at my landing page. Tell me what you think and what's wrong here. And a common point of feedback that I see from other heroes is the advice or the notion of, hey, you're focusing too much on the deliverable and not enough on the outcome. What is it that you're really empowering and enabling your customers to achieve? And so I was thinking about that feedback, and I was thinking about Speaking for Profit. And I had this moment where I was like, wow, something that's really fascinating about the work that Evolve does and the outcome is you are able to essentially help your students find their voice and empower them to use their voice to earn a living. And so I'm wondering, like, that's a pretty big outcome for someone to be able to achieve. How do you take that kind of a meaningful outcome and translate that into actionable lessons on Kajabi for your students?
Well, a roadmap to success is important, right? So most of the times when clients come to me, they have a lot of the pieces. They usually have a speech. they've spoken before somewhere in the world, whether it was at work or maybe they got paid $500 randomly by their church. So they already know that it's available to them. I actually don't like working with people who don't know that. I'm not like, ooh, I'm afraid to speak in public. I'm not that coach. But because most of my clients have that awareness, all they're looking for is a system. And through Kajabi's course product, I'm able to create that seamlessly where people get access to potential templates and different information. I was just thinking about this the other day. We were on a call with a client who was discussing a $50,000 proposal that they're submitting to the Department of Health. And I was able to tell my assistant coach, hey, go on to Kajabi and pull up the exact course that we have on proposal writing and the template. They went to it, they got the link, they put it right in the Zoom chat. So that accessibility really is supportive. I also love the fact that you all have captions. I know that in the beginning that wasn't available, but I have a lot of clients who are needing that, who are neurodivergent or disabled. So having the availability for that. And then I also have a lot of clients who are amazing parents. So being able to have the audio to listen to the module is also helpful because sometimes they're watching dishes or doing various things. So really the accessibility and having that roadmap has really been really supportive and being able to support them with their outcomes. And I'll share one more thing, Paul. Yeah. I think what's really interesting is that most of my clients are unaware that they can make money, but once they start making it, they want to do it over and over again. So also what's been really cool is telling people, hey, you should join Kajabi too, and then you can monetize your framework in your course, and you don't have to go out and speak and leave your family. So it also helps them to think about different business models that they can build out.
That's really exciting to hear. And I'm kind of curious, like, how did you discover this for yourself in terms of building the system and thinking to yourself, hey, I could also be a Kajabi partner and kind of expand my business that way? Like, what was that journey like for you?
Well, I seen Graham Cochran posted about it on YouTube, right? And I was like, oh, Graham is always talking about Kajabi. Why is he doing this too much? Does he work for them? Is he the founder? I had to look it up. And then finally, I seen that he was one of the top affiliates and that you all had a partner program. So when it comes to public speaking, oftentimes my clients have amazing frameworks. I mean, I'm working with people who have worked at Fortune 500 companies. So they already have been doing training and development most of their lives. They're corporate trainers. So now when I talk to them, like, you can create a course. And when you go into a speaking negotiation, if the company doesn't have the budget or the availability for you, maybe you can license out a course and use Kajabi to do that, right? So it's just been perfect. And I have a course called Course to Profit, right? Speaking for Profit, Course to Profit, keep it on brand. And it helps folks make their first $1,000 through Kajabi. And I literally walk them through creating a landing page, creating products. And in order for them to get that, they have to be an affiliate of mine. So that's been the exchange and the value I'm willing to give to folks. And then I just support them with the process.
Yeah. Thank you for participating in the partner program and really helping create a new generation of entrepreneurs. I think that's really cool to hear about.
Y'all give cool prizes too. I really love this sweater. So please keep them coming.
We actually are... Wait, can I share this? We're actually in the process of relaunching our hero program and our merchandise and swag. So more news to come there very, very, very soon.
Yes, I'm excited to see what's next.
Attention public speakers, coaches, and consultants. Ever dreamt of booking 5-figure speaking and consulting contracts? In just 5 days, I'm teaching my tried and tested system to elevate your speaking and consulting business. Forget the cold emails, bypass the salesy pitches. This challenge is about building genuine high-value connections. And here's a promise I have for you. With a commitment of just 1 to 2 hours a day for 5 days, you're gonna witness transformative results. On day 1, you'll learn how to craft a business strategy without cold emails or paying to speak. Day 2 is all about you redefining your profile to attract decision makers ready to invest in your expertise. By day 3, you'll have your very own 5-figure sales system to turn contacts into clients. By day 4, we will have you automating your funnel with proven templates and scripts. And day 5, I'm going to teach you how to master the art of discovery calls with a step-by-step checklist and exclusive 5-figure sales secrets. Whether you're just stepping onto the speaking scene or you're a seasoned pro, this challenge is tailor-made for you. And I'm going to teach you the exact strategies that have helped me helped my clients make over $2 million in the last 2 years. The journey to a thriving 5-figure speaking and consulting business begins with this challenge. So are you ready to redefine your limits, accelerate your growth, and bask in the limelight of your success? I want you to join the 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Challenge now. Let's rewrite your success story together. Simply head over to speakingforprofit.com. You're going to click that button that says 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Gigs so you can get started with the challenge. Can't wait to see you there. All right, now back to the show.
I'm kind of curious, could you share the backstory of one of your most successful campaigns or initiatives and give us a little bit of a peek behind the scenes? What were some unexpected challenges as you're building this out, and how did you creatively overcome them?
Definitely. Well, I ran into a big problem as a coach this year. I started to get too many leads and I didn't have enough time on my calendar for all the sales calls. So one of the things that I started to do was sell one-to-many through 5-day challenges. And I built that all out on Kajabi using your communities area, which was really great. And also using some of the email sequences to make sure that people show up every day and complete the task throughout the challenge. So what was really easeful was actually setting up just the membership community, creating like videos that they could watch to get started. Some of the challenges that I found were with the video software. So it didn't give as much clarity as a Zoom room or even as some of the things that I use on YouTube. So we ended up having to move from using that to stream video because I share screen a lot and show a lot of PowerPoint to actually streaming it on YouTube. Now, this worked out for me because I got a whole bunch of YouTube followers and we actually monetized it and told folks, hey, if you follow Evolve on YouTube, you get an extra point for the challenge. It worked out in the end, but I wanted to be able to keep folks in one space. The other thing that was a little bit challenging was that I really believe in the power of text message marketing as well. And we don't have that in the platform yet. So I had to use another service to send text messages out to customers to make sure that they showed up for the challenge. That was really successful because we had over 100 people go through it. The price ranged anywhere between $47 to $97 because we had general admission and VIP. But then on the back end, we also had our coaching program. So we were able to make $40,000 in a quarter, which I think is pretty successful for a business. And that was really great.
Yeah, that's incredible to hear. I'd love to actually invite you to send that feedback that you have about video and live streaming. I'll be sure to share that with the team. But I am happy that you're able to essentially take a challenge and then pivot and leverage it to your advantage. So many kudos to you for that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, you always got to find a way, right? And he already had so many people really enjoyed the community aspect of it too. So we've evergreened it since then, but I know when I bring the challenge back next year, I will use Kajabi and continue to use it to do it. And then people learn about the platform. So I was actually looking through some of my partners and I was like, oh, I don't know this person. Then I look back, oh, they were in the challenge, right? So they end up being interested in the product and maybe even becoming an affiliate, which is really great.
Nice. So one thing that I was thinking about is I feel like you're very engaged with the Kajabi ecosystem. You've been a Kajabi partner. You and I actually met briefly at Kajabi Hero Live.
Yeah, in Austin. Austin was a beautiful place.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of curious, like what point was it, or was there a moment during your journey in creating Speaking for Profit where you realized that Kajabi wasn't just a tool, but more so a bit of a long-term partnership that could really help empower you and transform your business?
You know, I think it was really coming to the in-person event. And I know I told you, I know I told Joe, like you all have to keep doing this. Before then, it definitely felt like community because, you know, my goal was, let me get my affiliates up enough in the partnership where I don't have to pay for Kajabi and Kajabi is paying for itself. And that was a great moment, getting all the gifts, but being able to be in person and see people and actually like make money with people. There was some like actual opportunities. I got to meet people and be on their podcast. They've been on my podcast, meeting folks like you and Joe and hearing like behind the scenes. It not only made me feel more like your family, but it also made me like respect you all so much. Because I seen you working hard, number one, but also you were telling me all that goes into the decisions that you actually make to change some of the things. So I know that sometimes, and I'm gonna share this because I think it's funny. Sometimes the Facebook group can be a little bit like a little dramatic place, right? Like they have so much critical feedback. And I think being at that in-person event, I was like, wow, like these folks really want to be able to support us. I think if people were able to see that in person, the critique would be a little bit different because they would see there's actually humans behind the labor of love that's going into Kajabi. So I thank y'all and everyone that's here, all 170 of you, for your labor and really creating financial freedom for heroes like me. I really appreciate y'all so much.
Wow, that's really powerful to hear because, thank you for sharing that. I think that's really important for everyone on this call to hear and very meaningful for me because you're right. The Facebook group, Joe, I see Joe commenting in here, Facebook is wild. Yes, you can get very, very wild in there sometimes. And being in the work, I feel like a lot of times it's like, man, I know who my coworkers are. I know the things that we're trying to do for our heroes. And we are a really special environment. I mean, the very fact that we call our customers heroes, to me, is a very special thing. The fact that we take the amount of time we do in all hands to speak with the hero and shine a light, I feel like says a lot about the culture at Kajabi. And so to hear what you just said right now, Evolve, is really important because it means that it actually translates somehow. It means that our customers, that our heroes can actually see the effort that's being put in. And I think the challenge for us is, okay, well, how do we continue to make that more visible and share that language and culture so that, we're really building something together and it's not just like this one unidirectional thing where it's like, oh, we sell a product and you're a customer and that's kind of the end of it. And so, just thank you for that. That's really meaningful.
No problem.
I'm curious. So looking forward and looking at the future of speaking for profit, how do you see Kajabi fitting in there? Are there new features or tools where you're like, man, if Kajabi did this, it would be so helpful for me? Or are there things that are working for you that you might not have are there tools or features that you see that you're like, oh, I could use this, but I haven't started using yet? Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I would be Kajabi's hero forever. Number one, I really love the platform, but things that are really supportive right now for myself and my clients are, of course, the Kajabi payments. I think that aspect has been really powerful to be able to give people support, especially this year. It's been a really strange economic year, so people just need more financing resources. And I was surprised. A lot of my clients really enjoy using Apple Pay. I didn't think that was going to be the thing. But they really do enjoy that. What I would love is just a little bit more transparency on the data with the payments, because sometimes people will say, oh, I applied for Klarna and I didn't get approved. And if I don't know if they applied or not, it's kind of hard for us on a sales call to really navigate the conversation and see what other options are available. So pricing transparency on the back end could be cool. I actually have a message queue going on, so this might already be in development. They were telling me that might be the data that they could pull. And the other thing is just being able to communicate with our customers through text message or even calls, and that being logged on Kajabi, like a really proper CRM. We were using Monday.com for a minute to kind of keep notes and set up reminders when it comes up to clients. So if we had more of a client relationship management system, I think that really could take it to the next level. But the things that I'm really excited about are some of the funnels that you all have built out. I'm using a webinar funnel right now and hosting a biweekly webinar, so I'll let you know how that goes. I'm really trying to take that framework of selling one to many, but not doing these robust challenges. And I really want a funnel that's built out for 5-day challenges or 3-day challenges. I think that would be great. Something that includes a sales page, of course, a thank you page, video framework, but also connecting it to the community and setting up reminders that can go out every day so that you can increase the show up rate of your customers.
Right on. Well, thank you for the feedback. I think you'll be excited to see some of the things that are coming out in the very, very near future.
I am excited. Keep building, y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, Evolve, thank you so much for your time today, for showing up and participating. Thank you again for engaging with Kajabi and being so supportive of everything that we do here in service of helping you build your business. I know I mentioned this previously. I'll mention it one more time. I'd love to see you again at Kajabi Hero Live this year. If you're open to it, I'd love to invite you to join us. And I know we'll stay in touch. So speak to you soon.
Definitely. Thank you. And thank everyone for your time. Peace.
Thanks, Evolve.